as we continue to grow, I'd love to see us become a company that recruits, veterans who are transitioning out of the military. They leave the service with incredible leadership skills, discipline, and work ethic, but many struggle to find themselves, where they fit in the civilian workforce. I know that feeling because I lived it. It's emotional, right? It's emotional because I want to be that guiding light that can help veterans avoid that period of uncertainty and give them a career path that could eventually lead them into managing or owning their own location. That's something that I would be incredibly proud of.
Welcome to Car Wash Exchange, everyone, International Car Wash Association's podcast. I'm your host, Rich DiPaolo, and joining me today we have Jonathan Roldan, co-owner of Brightside Car Wash. Jonathan, we exchanged a few emails over the past couple of months. It's great to see you here face to face. Thank you for joining us on Car Wash Exchange.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
And the reason we were exchanging those emails is because Car Wash Magazine recently featured your story in the summer 2026 issue. Jonathan is a U.S. Army veteran who turned a nearly abandoned full-service car wash in Naperville, Illinois, into a thriving community hub. He is now building a pathway for fellow veterans to do the same. Excuse me. So, Jonathan, at the time of writing that article, you were just getting your footing at Brightside, and now, as I understand, I think a couple of months back, you've opened your second location came online. So, what's been most surprising to you about the leap from one location to now two locations?
Running one location, you can pretty much be a one-man riot and hold everything together through grit and hard work and keep things, do a majority of the heavy lifting yourself the whole way through. But when you get into two locations, that's when things start to change. You have to have a strong system, a standard operating procedure in place, because you need to be prepared for things to go wrong and to be able to react to certain situations. You got to be like prepared to reduce downtime, increase efficiency, and having things like color coded systems, knowing where every switch and safety is at, being well versed in the manual, and just everyone having a clear understanding of how the process works can help build your business. That way, it doesn't rely on just one person.
So is your plate currently full now with these two locations, or are you thinking ahead to more locations at this point?
More than full, but I mean, it's kind of like the thing that gets you really going, like the challenge, right? There's an excitement, and there's just something that kind of gives you drive, to keep on going. Like if you tell me that we're gonna take on, a new location in 2-3 months from now, I'll start planning. Even as much as I know that all the work that's been getting put into these two locations has been, pretty heavy. Uh, it doesn't scare me at all to expand into another location.
So obviously we talk a lot about your military experience and background in the article, and you created an operations manual that was written in military language, Jonathan. So what has that looked like in practice, and what has the response been so far to that training manual?
Okay, so my military experience pretty much prepared me for this business in more ways than what I expected. From day one, the Army teaches you the right place, right time, right uniform. And, you always have to do your preventative maintenance, your safety. You have to make sure that everyone understands the mission. And I brought that same mindset into Brightside Car Wash. We take pride in our work. We maintain a professional appearance, and we work together towards a common goal. As the leader, I believe you have to lead by example. And if your team sees that you're doing the work and holding yourself to that same high standard, they're much more likely to buy into the culture and the mission.
I came across in the article that you didn't do this all on your own, right? You had plenty of help, other veterans helping you out as well, and it seems like you're interested in paying that forward, which we'll talk about a little bit more later on in the interview. But the lobby as a community hub, it seems like community is very important to you as well, Jonathan. So the lobby as a community hub concept, including the photos with Santa and the networking events, it feels like it came more from instinct, more than a business playbook, right? So, where did that vision come from, and what's been its impact in the community so far?
It's pretty simple. Like everybody needs a car wash, and they get it, pretty much anywhere. They can choose who they get their car wash with and who they don't. And being that Naperville is one of the best places to live in America, we want to be more than just a car wash. We want to be somewhat a place where they trust that we're going to handle their car with care, and that our main priority is the relationships that we build with them. One of the ways that we are trying to stay connected with the community is by our Wash with a Purpose initiative. We offer a 90-day prepaid full service membership valued at $180 for $150. Then 20% of every membership sold goes directly back to a non for profit or an organization that the customer supports. That way, the customers can, you know, support the cause that they know and care about, and also they can keep their car clean at the same time.
In the article, you mentioned, and if memory serves me correctly, your first location at Brightside opened in 1986. It had become a rundown. You mentioned that the previous owners didn't share sales records when you took over. So a year into this first location here, Jonathan, what does the data that you're building now tell you about where the business is headed?
So right now we're coming up on a year, and we've pretty much lived through every single seasonal change that we can, expect. Right, we got the rainy season, we got the snow season, the salt frenzy. We understand our equipment a lot more, the preventative maintenance that goes into it, and we understand, the what can happen when things aren't kept up to date, with your maintenance and everything like that. And even regardless of how well you keep up with your equipment, something's going to go wrong. And, get by gathering all that data, we've noticed that, what's going to help us is our memberships. Our memberships are going to help with some of the days where we can't open because of the weather and stuff like that, so and that's goes back to building the relationships and the customer loyalty that we get out of that, so that's pretty much what we've gathered so far.
Now, coming out of the service, Jonathan, I came across in the article that you were at a crossroads a few times since leaving the service. You joined a corporate job, figured that wasn't for you. Started a UPS truck driver. You decided you wanted something more. Deciding, do I want to own a car wash? Do I want to run a laundromat? Right. So that came across, and it seemed like I said earlier that you got help from fellow veterans and other folks that surround you. So you want to pay that forward. And one of the ideas that you floated in the article was this idea of Brightside University as a training ground for veterans also transitioning out of service. So how close is that to becoming a reality? And what's kind of your vision for that?
That idea is still a long-term vision. We're not there yet, but we're laying down the foundation with the resources that we have available to us today. As we continue to grow, I'd love to see us become a company that recruits, veterans who are transitioning out of the military. They leave the service with incredible leadership skills, discipline, and work ethic, but many struggle to find themselves, where they fit in the civilian workforce. I know that feeling because I lived it. It's emotional, right? It's emotional because it helped. I want to be that guiding light that can help veterans avoid that period of uncertainty and give them a career path that could eventually lead them into managing or owning their own location. That's something that I would be incredibly proud of.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Well, on behalf of the car wash industry, Jonathan, thank you for choosing car washing over the laundromat industry. We certainly could use your talents, and we're glad that you chose this industry, and hope you have a long and bright future ahead of you in it for sure. But one of those people that we quoted in the article was Justin Miller, and Justin made the remark that veterans lead from the front. Has there been a moment in this first year in the car wash business where that instinct was tested? That instinct to be out front, leading directly. Did it ever create friction where the realities of maybe running a small business, where sometimes you have to take a step back, delegate, trust systems or absorb setbacks that you just can't command your way through? Was it ever tested, and did the business push back against the way you're wired to operate?
Well, I mean, one of the things that I can say is that as a leader, you have to lead by example. And I, for one, would never send anyone to do a job that I wouldn't do myself. If you were to, visit our locations, you'll see me greeting customers, checking them in, washing the cars, answering phones, scheduling appointments, selling memberships. Always professional. I have a professional, clean appearance, and you'll see me get in that pit with other team members. As a leader, just because I have that title as the boss doesn't mean that they respect me. I have to earn it. And if they're willing to see that I'm rolling up my sleeves and getting, you know, down and dirty with the rest of them, I think that they kind of will, they follow suit and they kind of, understand the culture, and it's easier to get them on board.
So things moving pretty quickly for you there, Jonathan. You went from watching YouTube videos about car washes to now two car washes in under a year here. So when you talk to a veteran who's maybe standing at the same crossroads you were at, what advice do you give them? What one thing do you tell them based on your story and your example here?
You just have to do your homework. You have to research the demographics and the traffic patterns in your area. You got to understand the financials and inspect every single piece of equipment and review the maintenance history, because the details matter more than people realize, in the beginning. You also have to reserve capital, because unexpected expenses are going to happen, and it's not a matter of like if, they are going to happen. And no, and if you can't do something on your own, align yourself with people that can complement your strengths, because no one is good at everything. So you always want to have people that can help you in your weak areas. You always have to have access to capital to keep your business moving forward, no matter what. Because at the end of the day, hard work can get you started, but the systems, the people, and the leadership are what are going to allow you to grow.
Yeah, it's a great point, and just like we learned in the article, Jonathan, it took some support and a network of support around you to get you going. This car wash industry, in my years being involved in the car wash industry, it's a very collaborative industry as well. So don't be afraid to lean on others if you're just getting started in this business, and don't be shy to raise your hand and seek help where it's available. Right, Jonathan?
Oh yeah, of course. It's a very tight knit community. I mean, in the area, you can ask somebody, you can mention a name, and everybody's gonna know everybody. Like I could name at least 10 people in the car wash industry, and they all know each other.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, do you want us to know anything else about Brightside Car Wash and why it's the best car wash in the area?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we are located. We have two locations in Naperville. One on the north side of Naperville and one on the south side of Naperville. So there's a bright side close to you that's fast and convenient. Next week is we're celebrating our 1 year in business and expansion. All throughout the week, we're gonna have specials and we're gonna have games and treats for kids and everything like that. A little something, Monday through Sunday, just to let the community know about us. Now 1 year in, we want to really scream from the rooftops that we're here and we're not going anywhere for a long time.
All right. Well, it sounds like a great event. You have fun at that, Jonathan. Congratulations on the anniversary. And like I said, much success to you and the team at Brightside moving forward. I appreciate you taking some time for this podcast today.
Okay, thank you, Rich. I appreciate you.